Okay. Let me close my door first. Sorry about that. Where was I? Okay, let me show you my screen. So we are at week 12. Last week we have completed system implementation, the second part of it. We covered training and system changeover. And the first part of implementation was about the file conversion as well as the installation. Okay, the installation here is different from the system changeover, yeah? Okay, for today, we're going to finish off chapter 12 and our final 2 weeks, okay, 2 more weeks, we will finish off the final chapter, which is chapter 13. Basically, system operation and maintenance is the final phase in SDLC. So in our system development methodology chapter, the final chapter for SDLC, it is something like to wrap things up. We will show you what other system development methodologies are there besides SDLC. SDLC is a conventional system development methodology. And then, as you all know now, now we have very rapid development. So we will have a look at things like Agile and so on. Okay, that is for next week and week 14. But I believe we can like add perhaps 1 hour to look at the past year exam question. Okay, and then for this Thursday, we will discuss tutorial 11, okay, which is on the training and system changeover. And for your presentation, you will present your system design data. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, correct. System design data definition. Okay. Now, chapter 11. So this is the final chapter, not final chapter, final phase for SDLC. Okay, I'm using my same slide from the previous chapter. PADDIO, PADDIO. All right. We have 6 phases: planning, analysis, design, development, implementation, and this is what we're going to cover today. So meaning after the system is being developed, it is already been completed. When we finish the system implementation, it means that we have successfully changed over from the old system to the new system. So what do we get is the operational IS. Now our system is in operation. Okay, so during this phase, we will split it into 2. When the system is in operation, it is more to the end users part. This is where the end users will be using the system. And then only when necessary, then we have the second part, which is system maintenance. System maintenance will be handled by the SA and also his team, perhaps the programmers. Okay, and if there's some kind of like a request to make any changes or to correct any errors, okay, errors that was not found during the system development, not found during the training with the user, then you can see there is a dashed line here. So the cycle will continue. Okay, before we start off with this system operation, the chapter will be split into system operation and system maintenance. I've prepared quizzes for you. Okay, quizzes, 10 questions that covers system implementation. So are you ready?
Okay.
This time I would like to try instead of classic where student progress at your own pace, I want to try the instructor pace, means everyone advances through the question together. Let me go and get the code.
How's that work?
I've only tried out one time, so I will give you the link and then you all will answer the question together. Okay, and then when I click next question, then everyone will start answering the next question together lah. So it means I will do the clicking to of the going to the next question. Okay, you will be able to see timer. All right, and then you get extra points for each question if you answer. You give a very fast answer. There's a leaderboard. Okay, I'm going through the setting now. I haven't shown my screen yet. Yeah, shuffle answer option. No, I don't want to shuffle answer. Play music on participant devices. Okay. No other setting. Let me see. Okay, let me copy the link, put in our Google Classroom. Okay, you can go to our Google Classroom. One moment, I need to click assign. So this is instructor base. Okay, assign. Okay, it has been posted already. Okay, now waiting for Kelvin.
Post where?
Oh, in the Google Classroom, or can you see my screen now?
Yeah, can.
So Kelvin can go to quiz.com and enter the game code, but it's much more faster if you click on the Google Classroom. Here, system implementation. Okay, 3 of you are here. 10 questions, so let's start. Okay, so which of these are performed in the implementation phase? We have file conversion, we have user training. Yeah, correct. Feasibility study is in fact in the system analysis. Requirements modeling is also. Oh, no. Feasibility studies during the preliminary investigation, phase 1 system planning, and requirements modeling is the system analysis. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Okay, so the answer is true, yes. When we covered the equipment conversion, yeah, we have two types. One is for small scale installation like PC system, and another one is for the bigger scale like involving mainframes. Okay, next question number 3.
I clicked wrong.
You click wrong.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked the number 1.
Number 1, room for expansion. Okay, so this is for the bigger scale of installation, means into the mainframe or mini computer. So in fact, we need to make sure that we have room to expand. There should be a servicing room as well, and somehow it's much more better if it's near to the users, to the main users department. So answer is all of the above. Okay, next question. Okay, so if the data is not found in the old system, definitely we need to perform data creation. Okay, data creation, data conversion is when when we have that particular data, but we need to convert it properly into the new system. I read wrong. Yeah, it's okay. So shall we go to the next one? Okay, we covered quite a number of data conversion problem. The one that we see here, It's about the length of the field. Okay, so the answer is problems of different field length. Okay, let's see. We are now in question 5. Next question is question 6. Oh, very fast. I think everyone will get extra point. Yep, it's true. A way for us to get our users involved is by giving them the training before we start the system operation. Okay, next question. Okay, so this is there's no difficulty in logistic arrangement. Let's see one more time what is this. This is webinars. Okay, so if you remember from our notes, webinars, there are 2 types. One is the interactive webinar with the instructor, and another one is the non-interactive without the instructor. Okay, let me close this. So the first one is correct, second one is also correct, and the third one is also correct, where user can attend the training whenever he or she needs it. It's a webinar online training. There's no difficulties in logistic arrangement because there's no need to arrange for transportation to go to that particular training venue. Okay, so where are we? We are at question 7. Next question, question 8. Okay, it should be public training, right? Public training, because normally a software vendor, when they sell their a software package, normally it's like the accounting system, UPS, MYOB, all those. They can offer training programs, either it's totally free or at a much more cheaper training fee. Okay, so that one is in fact public training. In-house training, external trainer, it's where we want to have our own training tailored to our own organization by inviting the trainer, and the trainer can be from the software house company. Okay, but then for public training, it is normally meant for the customer, all right, the customer who purchased the software from them. Okay, so now I think we are left with 9, question 9 and question 10. Let's move on to question 9. Okay, this is the parallel run, whereby during this period, we run the old system and new system together, and we will stop using the old system when the results from the old system and the new system, as we compare, they are the same. Then we can be satisfied that the new system can produce, or it can work as expected. Okay, so let's see the options. Yes, it should be comparable, otherwise we cannot do parallel run. Sufficiency of resources, yes, because if you don't have manpower to do the data entry into the old system and the new system, it won't work. And it's definitely not the cheaper approach. You need money. That's why here you need sufficiency of resources. And it is a less risk approach. Okay, so risky approach refers to, let me see, it should be the Big Bang direct changeover. Okay, so I think we are now at the last question. Okay, the keyword here is large number of departments or branches. So and another clue given is large system. So when we see large system, what we need to remember is that it is risky. Okay, because if the large system fails or crash, okay, then the risk will the impact of the system failure will be very great. Okay, so if we don't want the system failure to affect these departments or the whole branches of the company, then what we can do is select only one of the departments, one of the department or one of the branches to be the pilot site. Means if there's any failure, any error with the system, it will only affect the pilot site. So we somehow reduce the risk. Okay, so remember, if it's a large system project, risk is very high. So we need to select a system changeover, system conversion approach that is less risky. Direct changeover definitely cannot, because direct changeover is the most risky approach, and direct changeover is not suitable for large system. It's meant for small system. Parallel run, I don't think the resources would be sufficient for this. But then for phase change over, because the clue given is the company has large number of departments. So between pilot and phase, it should be pilot. Phase change over will come when the large system can be divided into smaller modules. Means instead of converting the whole system at one go, we can choose to convert one module at one time. Okay, one module at one time. Okay, in terms of large system, very risky. We don't choose direct changeover. Direct changeover is the most risky approach. So we can go for three options here. Parallel run is the less risk approach, but in this case, the most suitable is either pilot or phase, even though it's not that in terms of less risk approach, it's cannot be compared with parallel runner, because parallel run we have the old system as a backup. That's why it's a less risk approach. But then at least for both pilot and phase changeover, we can reduce the risk if there's a system failure. And the one that really point to pilot run would be this, okay, department and branch, where this will be the pilot site. Okay, so I hope that can like more or less summarize the system changeover topic lah. Okay, so I think we're done already. Okay, and the quiz. Accuracy is 53%. Toughest question is question number 1. Implementation phase. Okay. But then I've already explained it just now, right? Implementation phase, user training, and also the installation. Okay, feasibility, file conversion. The feasibility is in system planning. Requirements modeling is in system analysis. What else? Longest question, select true. Question 7. Oh, also wrong answer. True statements on this method of training. In fact, all three are correct. It can be interactive, non-interactive, and user can attend anywhere, anytime. This is the live webinar, right? Any more interesting facts? 4 questions set and accuracy less than 40%. The question 10. But I've already explained just now, right? Change over, okay, and questions are okay. So I've explained the answers after each of the questions. Is there any part that still not clear yet for you all?
I think okay.
Okay, at least I can help you to do revision. So let me exit from here. What's the time now? The time is 12 to. Okay, let's take a toilet break, 5 minutes, and we'll continue with the lecture. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, it's raining heavily at my place now. I wonder if you all can hear me. Let's see.
Okay.
Class. Oh, class activity question. Vera sudah jawab. Yes, yeah, you agree. Because SA get the visual data from an interactive tools. Oh, Farah, what is visual data?
Oh, I mean like the what again? Like if they do something like database kan, they drag and pull. So like they got the visual data already.
That
Yeah,
one.
that one. So
Oh.
I explained that one.
Imagine this, if this is a online assessment question, I will definitely give you a wrong.
Oh,
Okay, visual data is something like visualization. Visualizations means pie charts, graph, all those. Okay, what do we call that? I just mentioned drag and drop tools to design visual data from an interactive tools. Combined together, then it's the drag and drop tools to design any. Okay.
yeah,
Understood.
that's what I'm trying to say lah.
Okay, I understand. Oh, I might give you X because I don't quite get it. Okay, never mind. It's just a class activity. Okay, so let's continue with our lesson. I'll start the recording now. You'll just turn on the mic and let me know if my sound is interrupted. Yeah, raining at my
Okay.
place. Okay, so finally we are at the final stage in SDLC. This is where we can see our system in operation. What we see in this slide is that we want to know for how long the system will be in operation. I'm sure you all still remember when I mentioned the useful life of the system. If the useful life of the system is 5 years, okay, and then the following year, what it means would be either it needs to be upgraded or replaced with a new system. Okay, this is where that particular system cannot provide any the current functions are not that useful to the users anymore, like it's already obsolete or outdated. Okay, so it depends on the useful life of the system. Okay, and then during the system operation, the IT personnel can still provide supports when the users they face problems while using that system. And then also for those new employees who recently joined that particular company, right? Meaning they haven't attended the training provided earlier on, or if there is any changes to the company's the company they have new requirement and it affects the system. Okay, so that kind of changes we will cover in the system maintenance. But for the time being, regarding the support, we have these 3 types of support. It can be user training, help desk, and also if we want to be more productivity, like we can get our programmers to do their focus more on their programming job rather than attend to all those small requests for explanation for every query about the system, like imagine you are sitting in front of your laptop, trying to like continue with your system development for a new system, and then you keep on getting calls. Okay, Lisa, I don't know how to do this. Lisa, can you come here? I want to show you something. Lisa, I want to print, but when I go to the print screen, I can only see the. How do I go to the next? Then Melissa. So how would you handle that? Okay, so this is where automated support comes in. Okay, about this one. Okay, source of supports, it can be in-house. In-house means provided by the IT department themselves. Okay, the SA and also his team, and vendors. Vendors is when for the system you purchase the software package from the software vendor. Then they're supposed to give you the support or maintenance. So it depends whether developed in-house, then support will be given by your own IT department. And if you purchase from the supplier, a software vendor, then they will provide the support or maintenance. Okay, just to let you know, the cost of maintenance or support provided for vendors, it would be free for a certain period, and then after that they will be start to charge. Okay, I think for your cost and benefit summary for your case study, SpeedPass, did you add in the maintenance fees, the yearly maintenance fees? If you did, then it refers to this maintenance cost. Okay. For the in-house maintenance, we still need to like provide, say, normally we don't do system maintenance during the working hours. So we need to get our IT people to work on it after office hour at night, or during the weekend, or during the public holiday. This is where we still need to pay OT lah. Okay, and also any other necessary material that need to be purchased, especially when the maintenance is about say if it's a corrective maintenance, then if there's a defective cabling, perhaps you need to change the cabling, so that requires money as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the three types of support: user training, help desk, and automated support. Okay, the first one, in terms of user training, you might be thinking, oh, but Miss, we have already covered training in the system during the system implementation phase. Yes, correct. The reason why there's another user training as a form of user support during the system operation is that sometimes the existing user, they might forget. Okay, they might forget on certain things. So we still need to teach them. Okay, we still need to teach them. And then like what is mentioned here for new employees, this particular user training is meant for them to teach the new employees. And for the type of training, okay, whether it should be a formal training like what we learn in system implementation, where we have the what was it already, instructor-based training, we have the CBT, computer-based training, and then we have the podcasts, webinars, right? And then for the public training, under the instructor-based training, we have the public training, we have the in-house training, internal or external trainer. So those kind of formal training, it will be required when the system undergoes maintenance, major maintenance or major changes. But then if it is just a minor change or a minor correction, then there's no need to conduct formal training for the users. The easiest would be just send them an email to inform the user the system has been enhanced to include what, okay, and then also update the current user manual and so on, right? So it depends on whether the change, if there's any changes made. If there's any changes made, then you need to conduct user training. If the change is major, formal training. If it's minor, as simple as send an email to notify them and update the user manual. And then like what I mentioned just now, if say you conduct the training during the system implementation like last year, and then you are only able to like formally launch the system to be used this year. So it's like more or less more than 6 months, okay, more than 6 months. So they might forgot what they have learned last year. Okay, why there is a delay? It depends on the system conversion that they choose. If they choose the phase changeover where they convert the system module by module, then it will take a much more longer time. So that's another situation where user training is still required during the final phase of SDLC. Now, how about the second type? The second type of support is help desk. Okay, help desk is, I'm sure you all have heard of help desk. Those people who work in the help desk section, they should have very strong technical skill, means technically they are very good. And then at the same time, they should have interpersonal skill as well. Interpersonal skill, because help desk people, you need to like deal with users, right? Okay, so the users will call them up. Okay, very frustrated. I cannot seem to get this thing to work. I always see this error. I want to print the paper jam, blah, 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 blah. So they vent out all this frustration to you. For help desk people, technically you're good, but it will also help if you have good communication skill, good interpersonal skills. So, okay, very well trained. So what kind of questions that the users normally ask? Normally it's about how to use the system, operational question. Sometimes they might ask technical question because they're curious. So they ask you this technical question. And then sometimes they also like if they are they have been using this information system for quite some time, for a few years. They have ideas, they have background in IT. The type of question that they ask will be more specific, like they will do something like a comparison. I know that if I use the other system, I can press Control to do to go straight to print. And then how about this one? I tried to press Control a button, it doesn't work. Is there any shortcut key? To display a certain, how about the search? Is there any like if I press the letter M and then all the codes starting from M will be shown in the drop-down list. So it's more to what they need, information needs. Okay. Next would be there's a bullet here on how to differentiate help desk and maintenance. Help desk are normally these guys that provide assistance to the users so that when they use the system, they are more productive, more effective. They can use the system efficiently. For maintenance guy, their task would be to make sure that the user can use the system uninterrupted, means no errors, there's no system crash, right? And if there's a requirement for new reports to be generated, okay, then the user, they will not be able to do that if it's not added into the current system. So this is where the maintenance guy needs to do system maintenance to add in new reports for them. Otherwise, then it will interrupt their daily work, daily operation. So it's different. Help desk, just helping them to use the system efficiently. Maintenance, if whenever required, okay, they want to make sure that the user can use the system uninterrupted. Okay, that is help desk. So how about automated support? Automated support, the type of support that we have seen just now, it's face-to-face, okay, face-to-face, like the help desk, or sometimes help desk, they are reachable through phone calls, or perhaps through emails, right? And then for the user training, definitely is face-to-face. Okay, for automated support, it can be through online. Okay, if the software is purchased from the software vendor, then it is provided by the software vendor themselves. Now, the reason why we have this third type of user support is that we want to have online support. Okay, we want to have more automated support to cut down on the cost. Okay, cut down on the cost. If it can be automated, then we should implement it. Okay, examples given here. We need to be ready with FAQ, especially if our system is an online-based system, should have a FAQ. Bulletin boards would be prepared by those software vendors, okay, and then the customer can participate in this forum or chat board whenever they have problems, right? Email responses. Normally, these email responses, the first email response would be automated. Thank you for reaching us. We will back after some, then they will mention that they are not in operation during the weekends and public holidays. So I will get you back within 3 days, something like that. Okay, and then it is automated. You will know it is automated when after a few days you receive another email from them. Oops, it seems like our customer support is having very bad logs. Okay, if your question is regarding this type of topics, you may go to our FAQ or something. All right. I received this, when was it? Last year. Okay, when I first started to learn how to use Loom, okay, Loom for customer service, they do have these automated email responses, but until today, they haven't responded to me yet. Okay, so what I did was go through their FAQ, the links that they give in the email, all right, and so on. So another example of automated support would be this online help facility. The automated voicemail, or this is similar to the email responses. Instead of just text, then there's a pre-recorded voicemail. Okay, and other examples are also listed here. Support forum like this one, bulletin board, and then chat rooms. Okay, forum. Normally forum, this is where the user can get lots of info. People will share about tips, okay, and perhaps bugs or errors. And then in the chat room, let me see, chat room. Yeah, this one is quite similar to the forum, because in the forum you can like have a conversation as well. The example given for the online chat room, they use Blackboard. Okay, Blackboard initially it is used by the universities to deliver online courses, just like our Google Classroom now. And previously, you see before Google Classroom, we use this Blackboard, okay, learning management system. Same thing, can upload materials, right? And then can post streams, or in the stream, like post messages and so on. So if the software vendor, they can put up something like forums or chat rooms. And this is where you can get automated support. Okay, more where if you want to compare to this user support in the form of user training, in the form of help desk, automated support means more support will be available online. Okay, so that's the keyword, online support. To summarize everything, in terms of the user support, the 3 types of support, these are some of the support given as an example. Let's see which one is more common. More common. Number one is more relevant to if the company allows end user computing, means the user in the department, they can write their own macro, very small macro, to like automate what they want to automate. Perhaps they want instead of like creating something from scratch, they want to automate certain steps in their daily tasks. Okay, so only for when there's an end user computing. But then if any development of the system is handled by the IT department, then this is not needed. Install of new hardware or software, yes, this is common. This is common. Assist users in evaluating a particular software. This is when that particular company, when they do their requirements modeling, okay, when they do their requirements modeling, and the top management, they give a green light to instead of develop from scratch, purchase from any commercially available software package. It means that there's already this particular system, established system, with good performance, get testimonial from other users, then why don't we just purchase it and then use it in our company? No need to like develop from scratch. Okay, in this case, that particular department manager might request for the IT department, say SA, all right, to help them in evaluating which among the software package are more suitable for them, okay, in terms of their criteria, like the cost, the price, the functionality, and so on. Okay, help users to submit system proposal. It means during the system requests, okay, when we get the system request from the user, they might approach the SA, okay, and then SA will be able to help them with this proposal of a new system. Okay, number 5 is very common. Whereby some users like these managers, they have a special request. I don't see there's any report that I can view showing me the content that I want. And then if he fill up the system request form, request for this report to be included in the system, then it will take another cycle, okay, system development life cycle. Okay, so if they use SDLC, then it will take some time, right? So rather than waiting for the new report to be added in, the fastest way would be helping them to extract that particular data, okay, for the user. They might need the data for certain tasks, okay. The reason why they cannot do it would be the authority to access the database and so on. Okay, and then the last one, the last example, set up new user accounts. Yes, especially when there's new employees, okay, new employees joining in. Normally, in a big system, we should have the database administrator, okay, that can like manage the user account, right? How about those users who have already resigned or terminated service, being terminated? New employee needs access to the new system. Okay, but then for smaller company, this is might be a job for the SA himself, okay, to set up new user account. But there is also a scenario where they allow the user themselves to handle the creation of the new user account, especially when you have the operation group. Remember, we did learn about the 4 types of documentation. We have the user manual, and then we have the operation manual. So this operation manual is meant for the operation personnel. These are the user side, not the IT side. They are in charge of the like setting up the system, also including creating new user account. Okay, so lots of support given. I think if you are a fresh graduate, rather than asking you all to like at first involve in the big project, most of the time you will be given the support task, okay, the user support task. It can be any type of support, starting from this giving support, then you will move on to the system development. Just what I did last time, do support, lots of support, attending to users query, go to their department, like you are running up and down. Sometimes your task is like picking up calls, all those, right? Okay, so now we are in the second part of the chapter, which is system maintenance. Okay, remember system operation. Let me show you. System operation is where the user uses system. Okay, the system is in operation, and then when there are some changes, right, and we need to like do maintenance on the system. This is where the IT personnel will come in. What is the required activity? In fact, there are 3 activities that you need to memorize. CAP. I think CAP is much more easier to remember. ACP, CAP or PAC, 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 PAC or CAP. Up to you, as long as you remember. So this they are referring to the 3 types of maintenance. In fact, if you refer to other reference book, there are 4 types of maintenance. But then for you all, I think they make it more compact, just group it into 3 types of maintenance: adaptive, corrective, and perfective. Okay. I believe I've already explained about the operational life of the system and also the difference between system operation and system maintenance. So let's go straight to these 3 types of maintenance. Oh, I need to give you a break. Okay, before I give you the break and before we go straight to the 3 activities, let's look at this diagram. Okay, this is what we call as the bathtub. Okay, bathtub. And then I want 3 of you, Noel, Calvin, and also Farah, take a look at your previous presentation on the cost benefit summary. If you have added in the maintenance cost, see whether it fits this bathtub curve or not. It means you have the year 0. Definitely year 0, you don't have maintenance, right? Unless the system took less than 1 year to be developed. Okay. Normally maintenance starts in year 1, year 2, year 3 until the useful life of the system. If the useful life of the system is year 5, so year 1, year 5, in the beginning, there are a lot of things that need to be fixed. Okay, if this is in-house system, then the user might ask for like, this is not exactly like what we expected. Can we make these changes? So the maintenance is still quite high. But then along the way, somehow it's becoming more and more stable until like say in year 2, 3, okay, maintenance cost is at the same level. This is where like maintenance cost like just to do normal system. What do you normally do to the computers? Normal system backup, disk defragmentation, disk cleanup, and then for cabling, check for loose cabling, simple things. Okay, there's not much of money required, overtime required. So here it is quite constant until if you notice that the cost of maintenance is getting expensive, more expensive, more expensive. All right, until it reached like almost like in the first year when you first started to implement the system, then you know that it is time already. Time for what? Time to change the system. The system has served you well. It is the end of the useful life. Means some hardware, even hardware, there's wear and tear. Okay, all like Windows, the operating system, right? You want to use a new printer, but somehow the new printer cannot work with the previous operating system, something like that. Yeah, a lot of factor. Okay, so this is.
Why the cost increase at the end?
Like there's a wear and tear when we talk about the hardware. And then if say, oh, you change your printer, but then somehow the new printer doesn't work with the previous, the old version of the OS when you first say install the PC here, like the OS is like 5 years old already. And then there's a new printer coming out. Normally new printer, they're much more cheaper, right? Something like that. And also if the hardware themselves, like the RAM, if you change the RAM, then it's quite expensive. It's much more better, like you replace the whole thing, get a brand new PC, which is much more cheaper. And then at the same time, for the system itself, if there's a new technology, and then you want to make it like online, and then the old codes are no longer efficient, then it's time already to replace the system, rather than you keep on patching up the old codes, which like take more time for your programmers to do. Okay, over time system always crash. What if system always crash in 1 month? It will affect not only the employees, your customer, right? So you should know that if the cost maintaining the old system is getting higher and higher, it's reaching the useful life of the system already. Just like your old car, kan?
Yeah.
The old car, the maintenance, like you need to do general overhaul, tak boleh. No, you okay lah, just do top overhaul. Okay, masih boleh jalan. Kan, my car engine stop lagi. Okay, then the mechanic say, oh, let's do general overhaul. Okay, tukar, and then you change all those drive shaft lah, you change it, change. Oh, we need to wait for the parts. Now there's no more to wait for this part. Kira lama punya part. Susah mau cari sekarang. Something like that. And better buy a new car. So things like that. If you want me to compare with them, like should I keep my old car or buy a new car? And then normally it's more to the technology lah, because even now we go for more online, right? Cloud based. Then people now, rather than they spend money on the hardware, investing on their own hardware, where if they say where they need to spend money on the maintenance, right? It's better they just subscribe to the cloud-based system. Like Oracle, they have CRM. This Microsoft Dynamics 365, they have this very nice information system suitable for user, where user can opt for pay per use. No need to worry about hardware, software, maintenance. As long as you have internet connection, you have the backup online and so on. But then again, some people, they're worried about security and so on. So that's the pros and cons, cloud-based, or if you do have a very good IT department, then why not? Means you have the necessary resources to like maintain the system. Okay. One more regarding the diagram. The operational cost is normally it's constant. Okay, to operate the system, like what was that already? Electricity, the air conditioning, and then like if there's any need for printing and so on, those are operational costs. Okay, maintenance is normally it's a bathtub. So you'll check your cost and benefit summary lah. Okay, I'm not sure whether that answers your question, Noel. How about the rest? Any other question about the operation and also the maintenance?
No question. That one, yeah, that one already got answered. The why the at the end go rise up the cost.
Yeah, when the cost
we have to put the maintenance costs higher at the beginning or zero.
You are referring to year 0 or year 1?
Both lah. Year 0 no need right now, and then year 1 need a lot, right? Or
yeah. During the now I remember about the babysitting period. The babysitting period is here. Normally, if you purchase from the software vendor, babysitting period, they might give you like 3 months of babysitting period, where if there's anything wrong, you need support, they will provide you the support 24 hours without charging you. That is babysitting period. But then after that, they will start charging you with the maintenance fee lah. Okay, let's see. That one should be in system planning. Let's double check system planning. This is one example, right? Is there any maintenance? Office staff, office staff maintenance. Office staff maintenance. I think this is backup update. This is what do you call just now? Operational. I'm not sure about this staff, office staff maintenance. Okay. If you see there's a figure here, it means that the system took less than 1 year to be completed. That's why some of the benefits can be gained in year 0. You can see in year 0, if you see there's a cost already, a maintenance cost, or means you already start with the cost maintaining of the system, perhaps few months in that particular year, and then you can get the benefit already. So this is quite a small system, can be completed less than 1 year. This is, you can see it doesn't show the bathtub, right? Perhaps this is the operational cost, like backup, all those. I'll see whether I have some other example for you all that can show the bathtub curve lah. Okay, good question, Kelvin. This tech support contract if it's a contract, yeah, then it should be the same lah. Okay, unless you change your contract sign. The contract normally is quite lengthy. Like it is not like a 2 years support contract. This is like a 5 years support contract. Any other? Oh, yeah, there's a support contract because you purchase it from the software vendor. This is internal, done by the IT staff, even though you purchase from the software. But for yours, it should be in-house, right? Okay, so I'll check on the bathtub example. Okay. Okay, so we'll take 5 minutes break now. I'll see you again.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. So I found something. Just now you asked about the bathtub, right? I think with this picture, it can really explain why do we have this downward curve, and then this one is upward curve. Wear out life lah, okay, whereby the failure rate increases with time. Okay, and then during the early life here, the failure rate start to decrease, and then here it is becoming constant. For non-repairable system, this is the wear out. Yeah. Okay. And then for the costs and benefit, I found this. Here, the office staff maintenance, backup, and updating. In fact, it is categorized as operational. That's why we can see that it is constant. It is constant. It's not showing the bathtub curve. Even though we see that this is the description is maintenance instead of what do we have already? Operational. In fact, it's the operational cost. If you see it's like constant, that refers to the operational cost. Okay, so I hope that explains a bit. So let's continue, yeah. Okay, I'll start the recording. Okay, so to do a recap, what we have covered so far, we are now at the final phase of SDLC. We have seen what does system operation means and what does system maintenance means. And then now I think we will proceed with the three types of maintenance, CAP or patch, right? Adaptive, corrective, perfective. So these are the three types. How do we differentiate between these three types of maintenance? We look at it is the purpose of the maintenance. If the purpose is to fulfill or to allow for changes, okay, due to the requirements, new requirements from the user, then that is a perfective maintenance. But if it's to correct errors in the existing system, then it's the corrective maintenance. If it's the purpose is to deal with the changes in the, say, environment of the business, then we call it as adaptive maintenance. So I would like you all to focus on differentiating between these three types of maintenance according to the purpose. Is it that there's a change in the computer and business environment? Or is there any errors that need to be corrected? Or is it due to the users themselves, their request for some changes? Okay, so the first one is perfective. You can read the explanation here. To cope with the user's new requirements. And then normally the user requirements is they want the software to be more usable, okay, performing well, And in terms of functionality, it will be improved as well. Okay, you can see under the changes in user requirements, these are the main purposes. For example, to improve the software usability, we can see as easy as the graphical user interface. Okay, when they request for I think we need to update the screen or the layout of the screen, or perhaps make the screen more attractive, add more like instruction, something like that. It's about the software usability requested by the user. It's a user requirement. So we can say that it is a perfective maintenance. Now, there are other purposes like in terms of performance. Okay, the system performance. The system might perform better if new technologies are being, say, considered for the existing system, right? The example here, if there's an online link, right, then it would be like you can compete with your competitors. If your competitors they have an online base, then why not, right? Performance of the system also refers to the coding. Okay, the coding itself, like perhaps the existing codes, it's costing slower execution, and the programmers can think of how to rewrite the codes to make it more efficient, more faster. Like if you have, instead of like using nested loops, like you have like nested, how many nested, for nested dual while loop, you keep on nesting your looping, so that one will cause the execution to be a bit slower, especially when you are looping through a series of iteration. Perhaps you can add in, say, some kind of checking. If it is equal to this, then straight away you go out of the loop. No need to like keep on checking until the end. So that is changing the code to be more efficient. Okay. Whenever there's a need for new feature, the user asks, can you add this into the existing system? Or I need this report for my monthly meeting with the bosses. Can I have this report added into the system? So these are some examples of purpose. Okay, purpose of why the user requests for these changes. Okay, and when you think about these requests, yeah, then if you try to imagine the SDLC diagram now, we are at the bottom, the system operation and maintenance. Say the user, they request for this new report to be added into the system. Then I remember just now let me show you. Then this, it will go back to here. They can request for a new report to be added into the system. So this is where it will be received as a system request. SA will investigate, is there really a need to do that? Okay, and so on. If it's just a minor one, and then it can be done, and then it really is important for the monthly meeting for the top management, then why not go ahead? Okay, just get the programmer straight away, do the coding, and then done, right? How about the examples? So these are some of the examples. Improve layout of the report, Yeah, it might be usability of the interface. Rewriting to speed up the operation. This is referring to this performance. Okay, just now is usability, right? So if you see it's about usability, performance, or functionality, it is definitely perfective maintenance. Okay, usability, what else? Usability, performance, functionality, then it's definitely about perfective. Means there's nothing wrong with the system. The user can still use the system. What happens if the request by the user is not introduced or didn't get any green light from the management? Can they still use the system? Yes, they can still use the system. Okay, it will not interrupt with the daily operation of the department. That's why from the name perfective, we are trying to make the system more perfect in terms of what? The usability, the performance, the functionality. We just want to make it perfect. There's nothing wrong with the system. It's not like if there's an error. If there's an error, then unless you go and fix it, your user will not be able to continue using the system. So that's the main difference between corrective and perfective. Perfective if the system is already running well. You just want to make it perfect in terms of the usability, performance, and functionality. Okay, so for corrective maintenance, from the name corrective, it means you want to fix something. Okay, to correct errors, to keep the programs continue working correctly. So from the examples, you can see if there's a logic errors, oh no, you must fix this. Okay, otherwise your user will get wrong answer. Okay, wrong output. Okay, how about data file corruption? This should be corrected, and hopefully the troubleshooting maintenance can be done as soon as possible, right? Yeah, this is what we IT people dislike, power failure. And you can see that in the system implementation, we do include the power, the standby power, right, as one of the things that we need to consider when we do our site preparation. Okay, a small version would be the UPS, uninterruptible power supply, and those big companies ensure they have their own genset, right? Sometimes due to this unpredictable power failure or power surge, then it will corrupt the data in the system. When there's a corruption, data file corruption, do you think the user can still use the system? No, they cannot. Okay, they cannot use. That's why if the SA, okay, let me go back to the diagram. If the SA, he receives like 20 requests, okay, 20 system requests per day, that particular day, and it's about say they have the company, they have like more than 20 system being implemented, right? And then somehow for that particular day, he received 20 system requests. So which one should he entertain first? Which one he should entertain first? In this case, it should be corrective maintenance. Look at the request. Is it about, if it's about errors, then he needs to work on it. But then normally, if it's a live system, they just do this system request as a formality. The programmers need to work on the system troubleshooting and maintenance as soon as possible. Okay, that one I believe is in system request, system planning. Yeah, I think it's in system planning. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, the system request. in the system request form, the user, they will indicate the type of request. Do they want to develop a new system, or they want to enhance the existing system, or do they want to do maintenance? This is normally for a typical system request form. There's one more correction of errors. If it's under correction of errors, the catch-up of request is correction of errors, that will get the highest priority. 20 system requests, SA will deal with that corrective maintenance first. Okay. I hope you all know why corrective maintenance is having the highest priority now. Because if they don't do anything to fix it, can the user system cannot. Okay, so it will affect the daily operation of the department, the company, and so on. As simple as the updating of the drivers. Sometimes when the say the client PC, I'm not sure whether you experience this or not. The OS, this auto update, okay, depending on the system, the operating system updates, and then after the updating, everything go haywire. Okay, so things like you need to update driver for the computer monitor, or perhaps the printer driver, and so on. Restore the configuration settings, all this. Like recently, my laptop, I'm using Windows 10 OS, but recently there's an update, and then after that update, finally now I realize why suddenly everything changed, even though say I already make sure that I want all my Office documents to be open using Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, and then it goes back to WPS. Why it goes back to WPS? Then I remember, okay, it might be due to the latest update, and somehow certain settings went haywire. Okay, and one more. Just now, earlier on, I mentioned about the network cabling. As simple as this. Just to replace this, they call you up, or I cannot access into the system. I cannot even log in, and then when you go and check, there's no internet connection, there's no network, the LED light doesn't even blink. Okay, and then you go and check, network cabling. Perhaps some rats go and ease up all the cabling underneath the raised floor, or at the top of the pole ceiling, right? Or lose RJ45 connection. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, the third one is adaptive maintenance. Adaptive, from the name adapt, it means we want the system to meet the changing environment. There are two types. The first one is if there's any regulatory requirements. Normally, it depends on the announcement that we hear from the government, or if there's any law or regulation. So you need to meet the changing environment. Let's see, any example on that? Changes in employment law. Create new reports. What else? Add new data entry field. Okay. What What example shall I give to you? Mm, 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 mm. This example might be quite already, but I remembered during that time I was so happy I get to use this very clear example that the student they always remember uh, how to differentiate between perfective maintenance, adaptive maintenance, and corrective maintenance. Previously, when the GST was introduced, okay, what happened was all the accounting system must be changed to be GST compliant accounting system. Okay, so the software vendor, even the software vendor, they like they try to catch up. They introduce a new version, a GST compliant accounting system. This is where the regulation is introduced by the, that government during that day. Okay, and then they requested for a certain type of reports to be produced, especially when the company they want to make certain GST claims. So the system needs to add in new reports, a new data entry field, right? Just for adapting the system to the current environment. Okay. Besides business environment, another one is the computer environment. For example, the hardware or software changes, like the OS changes. You might see certain software, it is being updated to a latest version, and when you take a look at the description, the only changes that they did was to make it compatible with blah 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 blah. So you already know that, but they have performed adaptive maintenance to adapt to the new environment, computer environment. Okay. Another example is not about information system, but the apps, okay, the mobile apps that you install in your smartphone. Sometimes you were asked to update, okay, and certain updates are not what do you call that, mandatory, so you can still use it. But then sometimes there's certain update when you click on your app, the first thing that you see, you must update first. Okay, so you update and then you take a look at the description. So from there you know that it is for, say, corrective maintenance, bug fixes. So that is corrective maintenance. Means you won't be able to use the app if there's still bugs. Okay. Yeah. So with that 3 types of maintenance, I hope you can differentiate it now. What does a perfective maintenance means? Corrective maintenance means, and also adaptive maintenance. Okay. In this slide, it shows the distribution cost of maintenance. You can see that the maintenance costs can reach up to 70% of the total life cycle cost. So say your cost and benefit summary from year 1 to year 6. Okay. If you really go and like compare the existing cost benefit summary, certain maintenance costs can reach up to 70%. Okay, and the more frequent maintenance would be perfective, corrective, because we assume that if there's any errors, it has already been corrected during the system, during the testing. Also, perhaps during the training, managed to find some errors there. Okay, and then you see a large portion of the maintenance is on perfective, means the user, they are using the system for like years, right? Okay, year 1, year 2, year 3, they are using the system for years. Every day they use it at hours. Definitely they want to have perfective maintenance to be done. For what? To improve the usability, performance, and functionality of the system throughout the useful life of the system. Okay, so you can see that a large portion of it goes to perfective maintenance. Okay. So how do we reduce maintenance costs? During the system analysis, you must have a very thorough analysis of requirements. And during the system design, it would be good if you can come up with predictive design. Okay, again, during the system design, one of the, what do you call that? Characteristic of a good design is modularity, right? If you have modularity, what does it mean? It means maintenance will be easier, right? And then during the system development, if you have performed a thorough testing, then it will reduce the corrective errors. Okay, and then during the system development, we also prepare the documentation, right? And then I hope you still remember, with good documentation, complete documentation, it will really help in the maintenance, where maintenance will be much more easier with complete and updated documentation. And another thing that can reduce maintenance costs would be to use the tools, okay, productive tools like the case tool. There's an exercise here. Identify the type of maintenance that, say, conducting thorough program testing can reduce. If you have a thorough program testing been done, definitely it can reduce corrective. Okay, but then I think it can also reduce perfective and so on. So I believe it's either all of the maintenance can be like reduced. So you can imagine this. It can reduce all these maintenance, adaptive, corrective, and perfective. But from here, the list here, if you have done a thorough analysis of requirement, then there's a little need for maintenance. Your design is predictive, then there's a reduced need for maintenance, means less predictive maintenance. Okay, so let me show you the answer. We can say that with the thorough program testing, then we can reduce the perfective maintenance. When we have carried out predictive design, taking into account, or bukan accounting, taking into account potential feature required. Yeah, true. If you already considered these are the potential feature, then there's no need for frequent perfective maintenance. I agree. And then if you have conducted thorough analysis of requirements, means you already know what are the potential requirements in the future, then it can reduce perfective maintenance. But then for the rest, like up-to-date documentation, modularity, and using the productive tool, it can reduce any maintenance in general. Okay. Right. Oh, just now I think I've shown you the contract. Okay, the maintenance contract. When you see this a contract, it means that it's between you and the software vendor. Okay, so when there's a maintenance contract, you need to pay a fee for that particular time frame. So in the contract, remember it's a contract. Yeah, contract means you need to sign. The software vendor will provide the maintenance service for you. So you really need to look at the contract. What does it say? So take a look at the information or all the information available about the software. And then see whether they also mention any help facility, and then how about the updates? If there's any updates, are you required to pay extra or not? So you need to really check the maintenance contract. And then if there's a new version, so how about it? If there's a new version, it means, what does it mean? Your maintenance contract is for that particular version. So see whether you will get the new version at a discounted price. Okay, and if it's about contract, you as a SA, you need to look at the legal condition, the liability of the supplier. See, hopefully there's no suing cases. Okay, it should be a normal maintenance contract. Say if the contract is for 5 years, they provide you maintenance for 5 years, make sure they perform the maintenance accordingly. And finally, okay, this is the last subtopic, a user group. If you recall, in the earlier slides, we talk about the user support, right? And then we have the user training, there's a help desk and automated support. And in the automated support, there's a forum, okay? We also call this as user group. Normally, when we have this user group, it can be set up by the software vendors themselves so that they can have this kind of communication with their customer, those who purchase software from them. Okay, they can get feedback from them. If there's any problem with the software, then the user can let the manufacturer, the software vendor, knows through the forum. Okay, and there's another type of forum where instead of it is being set up by the software vendor, it is set up by the users themselves, where if they are not satisfied with the level of support they're getting from, especially from the suppliers of a proprietary software. Okay, yeah, you need to know the meaning of proprietary software like Microsoft. Okay, then they can set up their own forum where hopefully if there is any dispute, then this group of users can act as arbiter, okay, intermediary in that particular settlement of the dispute. That's why if you purchase software from a third-party company, you need to check the maintenance contract. Okay, and the purpose for the forum, share ideas, definitely. Yes, feedback, we can get feedback. And for if there's any dispute, then the user group can become the arbiter. Okay, 3 main purposes. And examples, these are just a few examples. For hardware, we have the forum for IBM. Or in Boston, they have the user group for Mac user, Tricom, software platform. In the Philippines, they have user group for Adobe. Okay, Informix, this is 4GL software. In UK, they have the user group for Oracle. And in US, they have user group for SAP. SAP is the software for enterprise application. Okay, so if there's any feedback, then you can get info from them. So let me show you. This is the one. Okay, online forum. users access to information, if there's any errors, talking about the new products releases, tips for effective usage, and so on. Okay, so I believe that's it. We're done with the last phase of SDLC. Yeah, finally. Okay. So the time now is 1:33, so I'll end my lecture today. I'll see you on Thursday.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye.